Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. 90 Day Fiance, Darcey and Georgi admit hitting dry spell in marital life during tell-all. 90 Day Fiance's Darcey and Georgi, together, confessed that they are going through a rough patch in their relationship during the Happily Ever After Season 9 tell-all. They have always stayed in the spotlight for their differences in everything. They could never align their goals, such as family planning or finances. She sniffed his infidelity and discussed it with her co-stars. Darcey voiced her concerns about Georgi cheating on her, which Kara and Jovi supported. Kara spotted Darcey's husband in the streets of Miami, having fun being a married man. Afterwards, Jovi spilled the ultimate tea on Georgi, making the latter lower his head because he was about to be exposed. What did the couple say about their marital life? Are they heading towards divorce? Darcey didn't hesitate to reveal that she has to keep tabs on Georgi due to her lack of trust in him. She checked his phone to spy on him. The 90 Day Fiancé celeb couldn't get rid of her former tendency to snoop. She felt like he used her for a green card and to fund his lifestyle. Hence, she asked him to dump her with a divorce. I just wanna check his DMs, I already had the phone in my hand, so I was like, okay, it's my chance, Darcey said at the tell-all event. She talked about some girls messaging her husband for wild inquiries about spas and steam rooms. Looking at her, Georgi also admitted he had peeped at her phone while she was using it. During 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After tell-all, Darcey shared that she and Georgi no longer have sex. This made Kara, Yara, Andre, and Shane raise their eyebrows at what might have gone wrong between them. Kara said that Darcey's husband thinks he could replace her with anything. Darcey also straight up accused Georgi of plotting something in his mind and head. Georgi confronted Kara about why she felt that way. Yara interfered to remind him that it's due to his denying sex with Darcey. To which Kara elaborated that since Georgi stopped getting physical with his wife and shared no financial plan, they were bombarding him. Kara noted that Georgi failed to show his long-term commitment to Darcey. He quickly blamed Darcey for not having sex with him, which she disagreed with. Andre understood that Silva wanted her man to chase her a little bit. Unfortunately, he never did it, and it ended up distancing them. Shane questioned Darcey about the last time she and Georgi had sex. Darcey said it was when the Last Resort tell-all was filmed. This shocked everyone in the cast, let alone the anchor. 6 months without intimacy really bothered everyone. Shane confirmed it's a dry spell for sure, making Darcey urge him to ask himself the reason for the gap. For the latest 90 Day Fiancé tea, Darcey Silva is no stranger to explosive tell-all moments. In fact, longtime viewers often joke that every time Darcey walks onto a reunion stage, something shifts in the universe. Tears flow, tempers ignite, and confessions pour out like diamonds under pressure. But this time, during the latest 90 Day Fiancé tell-all, she cracked open a chapter of her marriage with Georgi Rousseff that no one expected her to reveal. The cameras captured Darcey sitting on the couch in a shimmering silver jumpsuit, hair perfectly blown out, lashes fluttering each time she blinked with intent. Georgi, positioned beside her, looked unusually tense, not his usual composed, quietly powerful self. Sean Robinson glanced at her cards, already sensing that the couple was gearing up for a confession that would send shockwaves across the fandom. And then, Darcey sighed. Not a dramatic, reality TV scripted sigh. A real one, heavy, tired, and tinged with something fans haven't heard from her in a long time: vulnerability. It's been a dry spell, Darcey admitted. In our marriage. And I don't want to hide it anymore. The room froze. Even the other cast members shifted in their seats. For a couple that has lived out their highs and lows on screen, from engagement drama to breakups, makeups, and their emotional wedding, this revelation added a new dimension to their complicated love story. Sean leaned in. "When you say a dry spell, what exactly do you mean?" Darcey glanced at Georgi, as if silently asking permission to continue. He gave a small nod, jaw tightening. And that was all she needed. "We haven't been connecting the way we used to," she said. "Physically, emotionally, spiritually. It's like something shifted after the wedding, and we never fully got that spark back." A murmur rippled across the studio. Even the producers behind the cameras looked stunned. After all, Darcey and Georgi had marketed their relationship as a comeback tale, love reborn, passion reignited, two people who had battled the odds and finally found their footing. But behind closed doors, it seemed reality had caught up with them. Georgi finally spoke up. His voice was low, deliberate, and edged with honesty that surprised many. "We love each other. Very much. But marriage is different than dating. There is routine. Stress. Work. Responsibilities. And sometimes, you lose the fire without realizing it," he said. "It doesn't mean it's gone forever. It just means we have to work harder." If Darcey's admission hadn't already stunned the room, Georgi's calm acknowledgement sealed the moment. This was not the overly private, often defensive man viewers remembered. This was a husband willing to meet his wife in the truth, no matter how uncomfortable. Sean pressed for details, gently but unmistakably. "How long has the dry spell been happening?" Darcey answered first. "Months. And it got worse because we were avoiding talking about it. I felt rejected, and he felt pressured. It was this cycle neither of us knew how to break." Georgi nodded in agreement, adding, "I shut down. When I feel attacked or insecure, I distance myself. I know Darcey sees that as me not wanting her, but it is the opposite. I worry I will disappoint her." It was a rare glimpse into Georgi's internal world, one fans seldom get to see. For once, his shell cracked open, and his words were honest rather than guarded. The vulnerability hung in the air, almost disarming. Darcey wiped the corner of her eye. "I never wanted to pressure him. I just wanted to feel close again." Couples on 90 Day Fiance often come to tell-alls ready to blame each other. But Darcey and Georgi did something unexpected. They owned their issues together. Shared them like teammates, not adversaries. And maybe that's what made the moment feel so real. Sean continued, "Have you considered counseling or therapy to rebuild that intimacy?" Darcey nodded enthusiastically. "Yes. And we are doing it. It's helping us talk about things we've been pushing aside for years." Georgi added, "We didn't understand each other's fears. Now I see how sensitive Darcey is. And she sees how I worry too much about being a perfect husband." A hush fell over the cast. Even the notoriously outspoken members, the ones who usually jump in with commentary or shade, stayed silent. It was as if they collectively sensed that this moment wasn't about drama, it was about honesty. Of course, fans know a tell-all would never be complete without reactions from the peanut gallery. Jasmine raised her eyebrows dramatically, perhaps surprised, perhaps entertained. Angela muttered under her breath, clearly itching to say something unfiltered. Big Ed shifted, smirking as though the admission validated his own long list of grievances with relationships. But Darcey didn't care. Her focus was on Georgi. "We're working on it," she said, her voice steady again. "And we're committed. Because love isn't just about passion. It's about communication. It's about healing old wounds together." It was a surprisingly mature sentiment coming from a star often associated with teary breakdowns and chaotic declarations. Yet maybe that's what marriage had given Darcey, a new layer of resilience, a deeper sense of what connection really requires. Sean wrapped up the segment with one final question. So, where do you two stand now, today? Georgi reached for Darcey's hand. Not a performative gesture. Not a stage move. Just a simple, sincere act. Stronger than we were before, he said. Even if we are still figuring things out. Darcey squeezed his hand. We're rebuilding. Piece by piece. As the cameras shifted away and Sean prepared for the next segment, viewers could feel the shift. This wasn't a dramatic breakup. It wasn't a defensive battle. It wasn't a cliffhanger meant to stir chaos. It was something far more human. Two people admitting a truth many couples experience but few dare to say aloud, especially on a televised reunion watched by millions. Darcey and Georgi's dry spell wasn't a scandal. It wasn't a failure. It was a turning point. And for once, the tell-all gave viewers not shock value, but a rare glimpse of authenticity. A reminder that beneath the makeup, the drama, the headlines, and the edits, real relationships require real work. And Darcey and Georgi, they're doing the work. One honest confession at a time.